My addiction started really early. I did my first, well, I'm gonna say about 12.
Okay. And what did that start with?
Oxycodone. I remember being on the school bus with someone, and the girl was doing one, and she offered one to me, and I did it, and and that was it. It was over from there.
Did you just swallow it?
No, I sniffed it. Yeah.
Snorted?
Yeah.
So at 12 years old.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, on the school bus.
Do you remember what milligram it was?
30. But I did a half. We split it.
Wow. But even still, for a 12-year, and so I'm assuming you done prior to that. You did.
Well, no, that was my first time.
What's your name?
Taylor Collins. I just turned 30.
30?
Mm-hmm. I'm originally from Reading, PA. That's where I was born, and then I moved down to Delaware for a little bit with my mom, and then moved back to Reading, so yeah.
Okay. So growing up, you grew up in a split home?
Yes, yep.
Was that the way it was all the way from the beginning, or?
No, I wasn't old enough to remember them together. But yeah, from when I was like 3, they split up. So yeah, ever since I can remember.
Yeah. And you still with your father then?
Yeah, I talked to my father.
Did you stay with him?
Did I? I did, but my dad's an addict, so
okay.
I stayed with him for a while, and then he fucked up, and then I had to get sent back to my mom's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Growing up, addiction was present in the house?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It was heroin and meth and alcohol. I didn't know that at the time, but that's my heroin being the biggest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, did you remember as a child seeing like your dad nodding off?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Paraphernalia around the house and stuff like that?
Yeah, I remember all the time him falling into the showers and. Well, actually, we used to live in Horsham for a little bit, and with my dad, and he used to take me on trips to Philly to get to go cop. Yeah, and there were a couple of times like he was robbed and shit like that. So yeah, I remember a lot of it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I asked that because my parents also were addicts, and I remember when I was young and I'd see my parents nod off. That I thought like that's what happened.
That was normal.
Yeah, people come from work, they're tired. That's the way older people go to sleep.
Yeah.
Until I got a little bit older and started realizing, hold up, this shit ain't happening in everybody's
right.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was to go back and ask your best friend in 9th or 10th grade who you were, who would they say?
Who I was in 9th and 10th grade?
Yep.
I honestly didn't even have a best friend in 9th and 10th grade. I always isolated.
Sort of a loner?
Yeah, because my addiction started really early. Yeah. I did my first, well, I'm gonna say about 12.
Okay. And what did that start with?
Oxycodone. I remember being on the school bus with someone, and the girl was doing one, and she offered one to me, and I did it, and and that was it. It was over from there.
Did you just swallow it?
No, I sniffed it. Yeah.
Snorted?
Yeah.
So at 12 years old.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, on the school bus.
Do you remember what milligram it was?
30. But I did a half. We split it.
Wow. But even still, for a 12-year, and so I'm assuming you done. Prior to that, you did?
Well, no, that was my first time. But I mean, I was throwing up, and I wasn't, you know.
You had the effects.
Right, but after all that was gone, then I started to really, I liked the way it made me feel, and
that was it.
Yeah, it went on from there.
Did you end up graduating from high school?
I did actually, yeah.
Okay,
I did.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And
when I turned 18, I got a big law settlement. I got bit by a dog when I was a kid. So I ended up moving back to my dad after high school and moved with him, which is how I got started on the heroin because, I don't want to put him on blast, but I think he knew that if he got me started on heroin, right before my settlement came,
Yeah, he'd have more access
Right,
to the money.
exactly. So that was me after high school for like the next couple of years, was just going really hard.
And so you said you got bit by a dog?
Yeah, when I was like
Okay.
5.
All right. And how much money did you get?
It was 60 grand, but my dad put it in his CD and it was like 80,000 when I got it.
Okay. How long did that last you?
Oh man, not even 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it was going fast.
And it was gone.
Yeah.
Do you remember at what point that you realized this money's starting to go? You know?
Yeah, I do. Cause
I'm sure that had to be a scary moment, right?
yeah, and my depression came. Like I started feeling really depressed, and like I didn't slow down, but yeah, I remember exactly when that happened, and I was scared. I was scared as hell, but it didn't stop me. You know what I mean? I still kept going.
Yep. Did the dynamics of the relationship with your father change at all once the money started running low?
Yeah, because he wanted more and more, and I just couldn't. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I gave him $15,000 right off the top of it. So when he started asking for more, I felt like I didn't really owe it to him. You know, I feel like
You feel like you gave him his piece.
Right. So that caused a lot of issues. A lot.
Right. Now, have you always had? And I hope you don't. I want to say dysfunctional relationship
No,
with your father.
you
It was okay.
Yeah, it was dysfunctional, but I always loved my dad. You know what I mean? Like he was my best friend.
Yep.
But
Did you feel like if the addiction wasn't present, that your relationship would have been different?
yeah, I do. But he has a lot of other issues too, like mental health issues and anger issues. So
Okay.
maybe not.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right. At what point did you feel like your addiction went to its heights?
Probably when. Yeah. We did like a home invasion. Me and my ex-boyfriend ended up doing like a home invasion.
Yeah.
And that's probably when I realized that like my thing was
So,
yeah. I'm gonna come talk to you in a second. They're doing an interview.
you was digging yourself deeper?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Did you end up paying any legal consequences to it?
Yeah, like I got on probation and stuff, but I ended up, it all ended up getting dropped eventually because I don't even know why, but it did. It all ended up getting dropped. So.
Have you had any other legal repercussions from your addiction?
Stupid stuff like shoplifting and a lot of shopliftings. I've never had any drug charges, but I've had a lot of shopliftings and stuff like that.
Okay.
Theft.
Are you staying here in Philly now?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been here?
I've been here for about 4 or 5. No, it's been a little bit, maybe like a week now.
Okay. And where'd you sleep at last night?
Right up there.
On the bench?
No, we actually have a pretty nice setup compared to some of the other people around here. Okay. But we have a big tent, and there's like 4 of us because it is really dangerous around here. You know what I mean? So we try to keep each other's backs.
What got to the point where you decided, all right, I need to move. I need to come down here and stay right here?
Come here to Kensington?
Yep.
That never happened. I actually just left rehab. I was in rehab in Kensington Square.
Okay, so that's how you ended up here.
And I couldn't take the withdrawal, you know.
Yep.
And I left, and somebody told me the closest place was Kensington, and they kept telling me, don't go there, you're gonna get stuck, and so here I am.
Is this everything you heard it was?
And more. I honestly did not believe it. I could not fucking believe it when I got here. It was my first time ever seeing it.
How would you describe Kensington to somebody who lives in South Africa or North Dakota or something, how would you describe Kensington?
Hell, literally hell. I mean, I don't want to say it like that because I do believe there's a lot of good people here, but
here for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I'm
I
an
don't.
addict myself. I used to be right here in the mix. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah, I don't recommend it for anybody like me who thinks that I won't get stuck there, because I come from a wealthier family and stuff like that, and I figure I know it won't be me. Well, here I am. So.
Yep. Okay. You have any questions for me?
No, I don't. Are you on? Are you YouTube?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel called Morals Over Money. Like I said, I was right here in the mix getting high, and when I got clean, I'm a barber, so I come and I do haircuts and stuff, but I wanted to do a little bit more.
Right.
And I remember the way that people used to look at me when I was getting high.
Right.
And we all have it, that bias when we see somebody.
Yeah.
And we think we know their story, right?
Right.
And we say, okay, that person's getting high. I think there's a lot of stereotype around addiction, like it's fun, glorious thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And I wanted to change the way that people view addicts and addiction.
Yeah.
So I started doing interviews with people so they could tell their stories.
Yeah.
In hopes of humanizing us. Right.
Right.
Just like everybody else.
Yeah, we are.
We just choose to sin with drugs.
Right.
Other people sin differently.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think a lot of people forget that we are just like everybody else.
Yeah.
That's why I think a lot of people come here because,
you're around
right.
the same people.
You're around so many people, but I think it's just been taken to an extreme. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're walking down the street and there's a line of people waiting for some guy, to hit their vein in their neck, and I just, it's sad, but it's Kensington.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me.
Yeah, of course.
I hope that if you decide to get clean, if that's what you want to do, then I hope you're successful at it.
Yeah, I will. I'll get back. I know I will.
Yeah. And, I just hope you're safe out here in the meantime.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.